A mafia boss's baby wouldn't stop crying. What happened next on that flight changed everything. A single mother made a choice that should have gotten her killed. Instead, it led to something no one saw coming. Danger, romance, and a decision made at 30,000 feet that rewrote two lives forever. If you're new here, subscribe and comment your location. Now let's begin. The baby's scream cut through the cabin like a siren at 3 in the morning. Everyone on Flight 447 to Geneva heard it. The businessman in 3C winced and closed his laptop. The elderly couple in row 12 exchanged tired looks. A teenager shoved earbuds deeper into his ears, but it was useless. That baby's cry could pierce through concrete. In seat 1A, Alessandro Romano sat frozen. His massive frame filled the first-class seat, his tailored black suit perfectly pressed, his leather shoes probably worth more than most people's monthly rent. His dark hair was slicked back, his jaw sharp enough to cut glass. Everything about him screamed power and money and danger. But right now, he looked like a man who wanted to disappear. The baby in his arms wailed louder. Alessandro shifted the infant awkwardly, holding him at arm's length like the child might explode. His face had gone pale under his olive skin. "Boss," whispered one of his men from seat 2A, leaning forward. His name was Rocco, built like a refrigerator, wearing sunglasses indoors because apparently that made him look intimidating. "Maybe we should call the attendant again." "I already called them 5 times," Alessandro hissed back, bouncing the baby in what had to be the most uncomfortable motion ever attempted. "They keep saying to check his diaper or feed him or burp him. I did all of that. Nothing works." The baby screamed louder, his tiny face turning purple. 2 flight attendants rushed over, their professional smiles starting to crack. The blonde one, whose name tag read Jessica, had dealt with crying bobbies before. But this was different. This was first class. This was a passenger who probably owned the airline's CEO. "Sir, perhaps if you tried." "I tried everything," Alessandro snapped, then caught himself. Even stressed and sleep-deprived, he knew better than to bark at civilians. He lowered his voice. "Please, tell me what to do." Jessica reached for the baby, but Alessandro's other bodyguard, a thin man named Paulo, stepped forward from the galley area where he'd been lurking. "Nobody touches the boss's nephew." Jessica pulled her hands back like she'd been burned. The baby shrieked so loud that passengers 3 rows back covered their ears. In seat 27B, squeezed between a snoring man and a college student watching movies, Maya Torres had finally reached her limit. She'd been trying to sleep for the past 2 hours. She tried her noise-canceling headphones, but they died somewhere over the Atlantic. She tried a pillow over her head. She tried meditation, counting sheep, thinking peaceful thoughts. Nothing worked. That baby had been crying nonstop since takeoff. Maya was flying back from her sister's wedding in New York, heading home to Geneva where she worked as a pediatric nurse. She spent the last of her savings on this ticket. She was exhausted, emotionally drained from 3 days of family drama, and desperately needed sleep before her shift tomorrow morning. And this baby would not stop screaming. She sat up, her curly brown hair escaping from her ponytail, her oversized sweater wrinkled from the flight. Her sneakers were untied. She had 0 makeup on. She looked exactly like what she was, a tired single mother who'd left her own 5-year-old daughter with her ex-husband for the weekend and just wanted to get home in one piece. "That's it," she muttered. The college student next to her pulled out an earbud. "What?" "I said that's it." Maya unbuckled her seatbelt and stood up. "Ma'am, the seatbelt sign is on," said a passing flight attendant. Maya ignored her. She pushed past the snoring man, who jolted awake and grumbled something about personal space. She marched up the aisle, her sneakers squeaking on the airplane carpet. Everyone watched her go. A few passengers looked hopeful, most looked confused. One woman whispered to her husband, "Where is she going?" Maya reached the curtain separating economy from first class. Another flight attendant, a tall man named Derek, stepped in front of her. "Miss, you can't go up there. First class is restricted." "There's a screaming baby up there who needs help." Maya said flatly. The passenger has declined assistance. Then the passenger is an idiot. Derek blinked. Excuse me. Maya pushed past him and yanked the curtain aside. First class was like another world. Bigger seats, more legroom, actual pillows that weren't thin as paper. And in seat 1A, a man who looked like he could buy the whole plane was holding a screaming infant like it was a live grenade. Alessandro saw her coming. His men saw her coming. Everyone in first class saw her coming. This small woman in a wrinkled sweater and untied sneakers, storming toward them with the energy of someone who'd had enough. Ma'am, you need to return to your seat, Rocco said, standing up. He was twice her size. Maya didn't even look at him. She walked straight to Alessandro and held out her arms. Give me the baby. Alessandro stared at her. What? Give me the baby. I don't even know you, Alessandro said slowly, like he was explaining something to a child. And that baby doesn't know you either, clearly, because you're holding him like a sack of potatoes, Maya shot back. Give him to me before he passes out from crying. Paulo stepped forward. Lady, you need to back off right now. Maya ignored him too. She reached forward and took the baby straight out of Alessandro's arms. The entire cabin went silent. Rocco's hand went to his jacket. Paulo tensed. Jessica and Derek looked like they might pass out. Alessandro sat perfectly still, his arms frozen in the position they'd been holding the baby, his eyes wide with shock. And Maya adjusted the infant in her arms, supporting his head properly, cradling him against her chest at the right angle, and said calmly, You were holding him wrong. The baby's screaming cut off like someone had flipped a switch. He hiccuped once, twice, then he nuzzled against Maya's sweater and went quiet. Everyone stared. Maya bounced the baby gently, naturally, the way someone does when they've held 1,000 infants. She made soft, shushing sounds. The baby's eyes started to droop. Oh my God, Jessica whispered. Alessandro finally found his voice. How did you do that? He needed to feel secure, Maya said, still bouncing. You were holding him away from your body. Bobbies need contact, warmth. You were probably making him more anxious. She glanced at Alessandro's face and added, a bit more gently, Not your fault if you haven't done this before. I haven't, Alessandro admitted. He was still staring at her like she'd just performed a miracle. My brother died 3 weeks ago. Car accident. His wife is in the hospital recovering from her injuries. I'm taking his son to Geneva where my mother lives. She'll care for him while his mother heals. The baby yawned, showing tiny pink gums. Maya's expression softened. I'm sorry for your loss. Alessandro nodded stiffly. Then he seemed to remember himself. He straightened in his seat, and suddenly the vulnerable man was gone. The mafia boss was back. His voice dropped lower, more authoritative. Who are you? Maya Torres. I'm a pediatric nurse. You just grabbed my nephew without permission. Your nephew was screaming for 2 hours. Someone had to help. My men could have hurt you. Maya looked at Rocco and Paulo, then back at Alessandro. But they didn't. Alessandro studied her for a long moment. Then, incredibly, he laughed. It was a short, surprised sound, like he couldn't believe what had just happened. You're either very brave or very stupid. I'm very tired, Maya corrected, and this baby needed someone who knew what they were doing. She looked down at the infant, who was now fast asleep in her arms. What's his name? Matteo. Hi, Matteo, Maya whispered. You've had a rough few weeks, haven't you? The baby slept peacefully. Alessandro gestured to the empty seat next to him. Sit, please. Maya hesitated. Derek, the flight attendant, looked like he might protest, but one glance from Alessandro shut him up. The man radiated authority even when asking nicely. I should get back to my seat, Maya said. Your seat in economy where you couldn't sleep because of the crying you just stopped. Alessandro raised an eyebrow. Sit, you've earned it. Maya's legs were tired. Her back hurt from the cramped economy seat, and the first-class seat did look incredibly comfortable. She sat down. Rocco and Paulo watched her like hawks. Jessica brought her a glass of water without being asked. The other first-class passengers pretended not to stare while absolutely starring. "You're good with bobbies," Alessandro said after a moment. "I have a daughter, she's 5. "And where is she?" "With her father this weekend. We share custody." Maya said it matter-of-factly, like it was no big deal, but Alessandro heard the slight edge in her voice. "Divorce." 3 years ago. Maya bounced Matteo gently even though he was already asleep. Old habits. "He's a good dad, just wasn't a good husband." Alessandro nodded slowly. "And you're flying alone?" "I was at my sister's wedding in New York, flying home to Geneva for work tomorrow." "You work night shifts?" "Sometimes, depends on the week." Maya glanced at him. "You ask a lot of questions." "I'm curious about the woman who just walked up to me and took my nephew." "You're welcome, by the way." Alessandro's mouth twitched. "Thank you." They sat in silence for a moment. The plane's engines hummed steadily. Other passengers settled back down now that the crying had stopped. One man in 4D even gave Maya a thankful thumbs up. "So what do you do?" Maya asked. "Besides flying first class and employing bodyguards?" Alessandro's expression became unreadable. "I'm in import-export." "Of what?" "Various goods." Maya looked at his expensive suit, his even more expensive watch, the way his men positioned themselves to watch the entire cabin. She wasn't stupid. "Right, import-export." "Does it bother you?" "Should it?" Alessandro met her eyes. "Most people are bothered when they realize what I am." "I don't know what you are," Maya said honestly. "I know you're rich, I know you have guards, I know you were terrible at holding a baby. That's all I know." For the second time, Alessandro laughed. Matteo stirred in Maya's arms, making a small sound, then settled back to sleep. "He likes you," Alessandro observed. "Bobbies are good judges of character." "Are they?" "Better than adults." Maya adjusted the blanket around Matteo. "Adults overthink everything. Bobbies just know if they feel safe or not." Alessandro watched her hands, gentle and sure, caring for a child that wasn't hers. She jumped up from economy to help without asking for anything in return. She stood up to his guards. She grabbed his nephew like it was the most natural thing in the world. She was either fearless or crazy. Maybe both. "You said you work tomorrow," he asked. "Morning shift, 8 a.m. "You should sleep. I'll take him." "Are you sure?" Maya looked skeptical. "No offense, but you might wake him up again." "Then teach me." Maya blinked. "What?" "Teach me how to hold him properly. I have 6 more hours on this flight and several days before my mother arrives from Sicily. I need to know how to do this." Maya studied his face. He looked serious, determined, also slightly terrified, which was kind of endearing for a man who probably terrified everyone else. "Okay," she said. "First lesson, confidence. Bobbies can sense fear." "I'm not afraid of a baby." "You're terrified of that baby." Alessandro opened his mouth to argue, then closed it. "Maybe a little." "That's honest." Maya smiled for the first time since she'd stormed up the aisle. It completely changed her face, made her look younger, warmer. "Second lesson, support the head. Always, their neck muscles aren't strong yet." She demonstrated, showing him the proper positioning. Alessandro leaned in, paying attention like she was teaching him to defuse a bomb. Which, in his mind, wasn't that different from handling an infant. "Third lesson," Maya continued, "hold them close to your body. Bobby's spent 9 months hearing a heartbeat. It calms them." "My heartbeat?" "Any heartbeat. It's about the rhythm, the closeness." Alessandro nodded slowly. "What else?" "That's enough for now. You want to try?" "No." Maya laughed. "Come on, you have to learn sometime." "He's sleeping. I don't want to wake him." "You'll have to move him eventually." Alessandro looked at the peaceful baby like it was a sleeping dragon. "Maybe later." "You're scared," Maya teased. "I'm being cautious." "You're definitely scared. You just met me, and you're already making fun of me." You're a grown man afraid of an 8-pound baby. It's a little funny. Alessandro tried to look offended but failed. His mouth quirked up at the corner. You're very bold. I'm too tired to be polite. I think I like that. Maya felt her cheeks warm. She looked away, focusing on Matteo's sleeping face. This was dangerous territory. This man was clearly trouble. Rich, powerful, probably involved in something illegal. She should return to her seat, sleep the rest of the flight, forget this ever happened. But Matteo was so warm in her arms. And Alessandro was looking at her like she'd hung the moon just for stopping a baby from crying. You can hold him when we land, Maya said finally. Give you time to prepare mentally. That's probably wise. They settled into a comfortable silence. Jessica brought Maya a blanket without being asked. The cabin lights dimmed for the overnight flight. Around them, passengers dozed off. Alessandro didn't sleep. He watched Maya gently rock his nephew, her eyes closed, her breathing evening out as she drifted off. She kicked off her sneakers at some point. Her sweater had slipped off one shoulder. She looked exhausted and peaceful and completely at ease holding a stranger's baby. Rocco leaned forward from behind. Boss. What? Alessandro whispered. Who is she? Nobody. Nobody just walked up and took Matteo from you. She's a nurse. She knew what she was doing. Still, that took guts. Rocco paused. Or stupidity. Alessandro glanced at Maya's sleeping face. Maybe both. You want me to run a background check? Alessandro thought about it. His first instinct was yes. He always vetted people who got close to him. It was survival, basic common sense in his world. But something stopped him. No, he said quietly. Leave it. Rocco looked surprised but didn't argue. He settled back in his seat. Alessandro returned his attention to Maya and Matteo. Two people who'd stumbled into his complicated, dangerous life at 30,000 feet. A nurse and a baby. The most normal, innocent thing that had happened to him in years. His phone buzzed. A text from his second-in-command back in Geneva. Business matters. Problems that needed solving. Alessandro ignored it. For the next 6 hours, he sat in that first-class seat and watched Maya Torres sleep with his nephew in her arms. And he didn't think about shipments or territories or rivals or any of the 1,000 things he usually worried about. He just sat there. And he wondered if maybe, just maybe, the universe had put this woman on his flight for a reason. The plane touched down in Geneva at 6 in the morning. Rain streaked the windows as they taxied to the gate. Maya woke slowly, confused about why her neck didn't hurt and why the seat was so comfortable. Then she remembered. First class, the baby, the terrifyingly attractive man who'd watched her sleep for probably way too long based on how alert he looked. Good morning, Alessandro said. Maya sat up quickly, nearly dropping Matteo. The baby woke up and immediately started fussing. She adjusted him against her shoulder, patting his back in small circles. How long was I asleep? 5 hours. You stayed awake the whole time. Alessandro shrugged. I don't sleep well on planes. That was a lie. He didn't sleep well anywhere. Occupational hazard. The seatbelt sign dinged off. Passengers started gathering their things. Maya looked down at herself, at her wrinkled clothes and her hair that had escaped completely from the ponytail. She probably looked like a disaster. I should get back to my seat, she said. Get my bag. Already taken care of. Alessandro nodded toward Paulo, who was holding a small backpack, Maya's backpack, from economy. How did you? I told the attendants to retrieve it. You can't just do that. I just did. Maya wanted to argue, but Matteo chose that moment to let out a loud burp. She laughed despite herself. See, he likes you, Alessandro said again. He likes anyone who feeds and burps him properly. Then I definitely need more lessons. They stood up as the gate bridge connected to the plane. Alessandro's men immediately flanked him. Other first-class passengers kept their distance, sensing something about this group that screamed danger. Maya handed Matteo to Alessandro. He took the baby carefully, supporting the head like she'd taught him, holding Mateo close to his chest. The baby squirmed but didn't cry. "You're doing it right," Maya said. "I had a good teacher." Their eyes met. For a moment, neither of them moved. The plane was emptying around them, but they just stood there in the aisle, a baby between them, the strangest connection Maya had felt in years. "Miss Torres," Alessandro said formally, "may I have your phone number?" Maya's heart jumped. "Why?" "For babysitting purposes." "Babysitting?" "Yes, Mateo clearly needs someone who knows what they're doing. My mother won't arrive from Sicily until next week. I'll pay you well." It was such obvious nonsense that Maya almost laughed. "You want to hire me as a babysitter? Is that so hard to believe? You're rich enough to hire professional nannies, probably several of them. But Mateo likes you." "Mateo doesn't know me." "Neither do I, but I'd like to." Alessandro paused. "For babysitting purposes." Maya bit her lip to keep from smiling. "Right, babysitting. Purely professional." "Of course. So, your number." Maya should have said no. This man was clearly involved in something shady. He had bodyguards. He radiated danger. Getting involved with him was probably the worst idea she'd had in years. But Mateo was looking at her with those big eyes. And Alessandro was holding him correctly now, looking almost comfortable. And Maya's life was boring and safe and predictable, and just this once, maybe she could do something reckless. "Fine," she said, "but I'm expensive." "I'm sure I can afford you." They exchanged numbers. Alessandro typed hers into his phone with one hand while balancing Mateo with the other. He was getting better at this already. "I'll call you tomorrow," he said. "I work until 6. Then I'll call you at 6:05. Maya grabbed her backpack from Paulo, who handed it over without expression. She looked at Alessandro one more time. "Take care of him." "I will. And if you need help before tomorrow, call me. Doesn't matter what time." Alessandro's expression softened. "Thank you, Maya." Her name sounded different in his accent. Italian, warm. She turned and walked off the plane before she could do something stupid like kiss him. The jetway felt too long, the airport too bright. Reality was crashing back in, and Maya couldn't quite believe what had just happened. She grabbed a stranger's baby on a plane. She'd given her number to a man who was definitely some kind of criminal. She agreed to babysit for someone she'd known for 6 hours. Her phone buzzed before she even reached baggage claim. "Unknown number. This is Alessandro, saving your contact information. Also, Mateo just spit up on my suit jacket." Maya laughed out loud. A businessman walking past gave her a strange look. She typed back, "Welcome to parenthood. Do you have a spare shirt?" "Alessandro, I have 12 spare shirts, but they're all at my apartment." "Maya, then I guess you're walking through the airport with spit up on your shoulder." "Alessandro, this is humiliating." "Maya, this is karma for holding him wrong for 2 hours." "Alessandro, you're mean." "Maya, you'll survive." She collected her bag and headed for the taxi line, still smiling at her phone like a teenager. This was insane. She had work in 2 hours. She needed to go home, shower, change, pretend to be a responsible adult. Her phone buzzed again. "Alessandro, Mateo is crying again. What do I do?" "Maya, check his diaper. When did he last eat?" "Alessandro, 2 hours ago on the plane. The flight attendant heated a bottle." "Maya, he's probably hungry again. Bobbies eat every 2 to 3 hours." "Alessandro, I don't have any bottles. We used the last one." "Maya, then you need to stop at a pharmacy before going home. Get formula, bottles, diapers. I'll text you a list." She rattled off a detailed list of supplies, baby basics, things any new parent would need. "Alessandro, this is a very long list." "Maya, Bobbies are high maintenance." "Alessandro, can you come with me to the pharmacy?" Maya stopped walking. A woman behind her nearly collided with her suitcase. "Maya, I have work in 2 hours." "Alessandro, please. I'll pay you double whatever you make at the hospital. I have no idea what I'm doing, and my mother won't answer her phone because it's the middle of the night in Sicily. Maya, you have bodyguards. One of them must know about Bobby's. Alessandro, Rocco has 3 daughters, but he left them all when they were infants. His ex-wife won't let him see them. Maya, that's sad. Alessandro, yes, so will you help me? Maya looked at her watch. She could call in sick. She had plenty of sick days saved up, and there was a baby who needed help. At least that's what she told herself. It definitely had nothing to do with wanting to see Alessandro again. Maya, where are you? Alessandro, still in the airport, near the coffee shop by Terminal E. Maya, stay there. I'll come find you. She grabbed her suitcase and turned around, heading back into the terminal. She was absolutely losing her mind. This was insane, reckless, stupid. She found them 15 minutes later. Alessandro standing near a coffee kiosk, looking completely out of place in his expensive suit with baby spit up on the shoulder, holding a screaming Matteo while Rocco and Paulo kept watch. Other travelers gave them a wide berth. You came, Alessandro said, relief flooding his face. I'm an idiot, Maya replied. You're an angel. Same thing sometimes. She took Matteo, who immediately stopped crying. There's a pharmacy 10 minutes from here by car. We'll get supplies, I'll show you the basics, then I'm going home. Thank you. Stop thanking me. You're paying me, remember? Right, babysitting. They looked at each other. Matteo gurgled between them. This is crazy, Maya said. Completely insane, Alessandro agreed. I don't even know your last name. Romano, Alessandro Romano. Maya waited for recognition to hit. It didn't. She'd been in Geneva for only 2 years, worked long shifts at the hospital, spent her free time with her daughter. She didn't follow news about organized crime or local power players. She had no idea she was standing in front of one of the most dangerous men in Switzerland. Maya Torres, she said, like he didn't already know. Pediatric nurse, single mother, and apparently the worst decision-maker in the world. Alessandro smiled. A real smile this time, not the polite version from the plane. It transformed his entire face, made him look younger, less dangerous. I think your decision-making is excellent, he said. They took his car. Of course it was a car. A black Mercedes with bulletproof windows and a driver who didn't blink when Alessandro got in the back with a baby and a strange woman. Rocco sat in the front passenger seat. Paulo followed in a second car behind them. The pharmacy was small, tucked between a bakery and a bookshop. It was barely 7 in the morning, so the place was empty except for one tired clerk. Maya grabbed a cart and started loading it. Formula, bottles, diapers in 3 sizes because she wasn't sure how big Matteo would get in the next month, baby wipes, diaper cream, a changing pad, pacifiers, baby soap, a thermometer, infant pain reliever. Alessandro followed her, carrying Matteo, watching everything she added to the cart. He didn't look at the prices. He just watched her move efficiently through the aisles like she'd done this 1,000 times. Because she had. You're good at this, he said quietly. I told you, I have a daughter. What's her name? Lily. Does she look like you? Maya glanced at him, surprised by the personal question. She has my eyes, her father's blonde hair. I'd like to meet her sometime. Why? Alessandro shifted Matteo to his other arm. Because she's important to you. Maya's chest tightened. Her ex-husband had rarely wanted to meet people important to her. He'd been content in their small bubble, just the 3 of them, until he'd decided he wanted a different bubble with someone else. Let's focus on keeping Matteo alive first, she said, grabbing more diapers. They checked out. The total came to over 300 francs. Alessandro handed over a credit card without blinking. Back in the car, Maya showed him how to make a bottle, how to test the temperature on his wrist, how to hold Matteo at the right angle so he didn't choke or get air bubbles. Matteo drank hungrily, his tiny hands trying to grip the bottle. He was starving, Alessandro said, watching. Bobbies can't tell you what they need. You have to learn their signals. What are his signals? That's what you're going to figure out over the next few days. Maya smiled softly. Every baby is different. Mateo will teach you his language. And if I don't understand, then you call me. At any hour. Any hour. Alessandro looked at her while Mateo drank his bottle. She was scrolling through her phone, checking work emails, completely at ease in the back of his car. Like this was normal. Like she hadn't just spent an hour helping a stranger buy baby supplies. Maya. Yeah. Why are you being so kind to me? She looked up from her phone. What do you mean? You don't know me. I could be anyone. You're a man who just lost his brother and got handed a baby you don't know how to care for, Maya said simply. That's enough. Most people would have stayed in their seats on the plane. Most people aren't pediatric nurses who can't stand hearing a baby cry for 2 hours. Still, you didn't have to help. Maya studied his face, the tiredness around his eyes, the tension in his jaw, the careful way he held Mateo now, like the baby might break. My ex-husband left when Lily was 2, she said quietly. I had no idea how to do everything alone. A neighbor, this old woman named Mrs. Chen, she helped me, showed me tricks for getting Lily to sleep, watched her when I had overnight shifts and couldn't find a sitter. She didn't have to help, she just did. Where is Mrs. Chen now? She moved back to Taiwan last year to be with her daughter. Maya smiled sadly. But I think about her all the time, how she helped me when I needed it most. Maybe that's what I'm doing, paying it forward. Mateo finished his bottle. Maya showed Alessandro how to burp him properly, patting his back in gentle circles until the baby let out a loud burp. Excellent, Maya said. You're learning. They arrived at Alessandro's apartment building. Of course it wasn't an apartment. It was a penthouse, top floor of a building overlooking Lake Geneva. The kind of place that probably cost more than Maya would make in her entire lifetime. The elevator required a key card, security cameras everywhere. Paulo checked the hallway before letting them exit. Inside, the penthouse was massive, floor-to-ceiling windows, modern furniture, art on the walls that probably belonged in museums. Everything was white and chrome and expensive. Nice place, Maya said weakly. It's home. Alessandro walked to the living room and stood there, holding Mateo, looking completely out of place, like he'd never had a baby in this space before. He probably hadn't. Maya set down the pharmacy bags. Okay, first things first, where is Mateo sleeping? I haven't set anything up yet. You haven't, Maya stopped, breathed. Okay, do you have a crib, a bassinet, anything? I'll order one. He needs somewhere to sleep now, Alessandro. It's 7 a.m. He's going to crash soon. Alessandro looked panicked. Can he sleep with me? Not safely. Bobbies should sleep on their backs in their own space. Risk of suffocation. Then what do I do? Maya pulled out her phone and started searching. There's a baby store 20 minutes from here. They open at 8. We can get a bassinet and have it delivered today. Wait. I'm already here. Might as well finish the job. Alessandro stared at her. You're supposed to be at work. I called in sick. You called in sick for me. For Mateo, Maya corrected, but they both knew it was a lie. She called the baby store, explained the situation, and somehow convinced them to have a bassinet and basic furniture delivered within 2 hours. Emergency fee applied. Alessandro didn't care about the cost. While they waited, Maya showed him how to change a diaper. Mateo peed on Alessandro's shirt mid-change. This is disgusting, Alessandro said, holding his wet shirt away from his body. Welcome to Bobbies. Maya handed him paper towels. They have no sense of timing or modesty. I'm starting to understand why my brother looked exhausted all the time. The words hung in the air, the reminder of why they were here. Why Alessandro had an 8-week-old baby in his penthouse in the first place. I'm sorry, Maya said softly, about your brother. Alessandro nodded, not trusting himself to speak. He finished cleaning up and changed into a fresh shirt from his bedroom. When he came back, Maya had Mateo on a blanket on the floor, doing tummy time. What is that? Tummy time helps build neck strength. He looks uncomfortable. He'll fuss in a minute, but it's good for him. She glanced up at Alessandro. You should try to sleep while he's content. You look exhausted. I'm fine. You've been awake for probably 24 hours. I've gone longer. Maya raised an eyebrow. Doing what? Alessandro caught himself. Work. Right, import-export. She said it like she didn't believe him but wasn't going to push. They sat on his expensive white couch and watched Mateo wiggle on the blanket. The morning sun came through the windows. The apartment was silent except for the baby's small sounds. This is surreal, Maya said. What is? This, all of it. Yesterday I was at my sister's wedding eating terrible cake. Today I'm in a stranger's penthouse teaching him baby basics. Do you regret it? Maya thought about it. No. Do you regret asking for help? No. They looked at each other. Something was building between them. Something neither of them wanted to name yet. Maya's phone buzzed. A text from her ex-husband. David, Lily wants to know when you're picking her up. She misses you. Maya smiled. My daughter. Everything okay? Yeah, she just misses me. I'm supposed to get her this afternoon. You should go, Alessandro said, even though he didn't want her to. The furniture hasn't arrived yet. I can handle it. Can you? Alessandro looked at Mateo, who'd started fussing on his stomach. He picked up the baby carefully, supporting his head, holding him close. Mateo settled immediately. I'm learning, Alessandro said. Maya stood up. Call me if you need anything. Seriously, day or night. I will. And send me updates. I want to make sure he's okay. Yes, doctor. Nurse, Maya corrected. They walked to the door. Rocco was waiting in the hallway, always present, always watching. Thank you, Alessandro said, for everything. You already thanked me. I'll thank you again tomorrow when I call. Right, for babysitting purposes. Purely professional. Maya smiled. Then, because she was apparently completely insane, she went up on her toes and kissed Alessandro's cheek. Quick, barely there. Bye, Alessandro. She left before he could respond. Alessandro stood in his doorway, holding Mateo, his cheek warm where she'd kissed him. Rocco watched the elevator doors close behind her. Boss, Rocco said carefully. What? That woman is dangerous. Alessandro looked at his bodyguard. Why? Because you like her. Alessandro didn't argue. He went back inside, closed the door, and looked at his nephew. Your uncle is in trouble, he told Mateo. The baby yawned. Over the next week, Alessandro called Maya 17 times. She came over 8 times. She taught him how to give Mateo a bath without drowning him, how to recognize different types of cries, how to soothe him when nothing else worked. She brought Lily once. Her daughter was tiny and blonde and immediately wanted to hold the baby. Gentle, Maya instructed. Support his head. Lily sat on the couch, holding Mateo like he was made of glass, her little face serious with concentration. He's so small, she whispered. You were that small once, Maya said. Really? Really? Alessandro watched them. This woman and her daughter and his nephew. 3 people who'd crashed into his life and somehow made his massive, empty penthouse feel like a home. His mother arrived from Sicily that week. She took one look at Maya and smiled knowingly. So this is the angel you told me about on the phone, she said in Italian. Mama, don't, Alessandro warned. But his mother ignored him. She hugged Maya like they were old friends. She insisted Maya stay for dinner. She asked about Lily, about her work, about her life. And when Maya left that night, his mother turned to Alessandro and said, You're going to marry that woman. Mama, I know these things. A mother knows. Alessandro wanted to argue, but he looked at the door where Maya had just left, at the toys now scattered across his living room floor, at Mateo sleeping in the bassinet by the window. His life had changed, all because a tired nurse couldn't stand hearing a baby cry on a plane. 2 months later, Alessandro asked Maya on a real date. Not babysitting, not lessons, a real date. She said yes. 6 months after that, he told her the truth about what he really did, who he really was. He expected her to run. She didn't. "I know," she said simply. "You know. I figured it out around week 3, when your business associate showed up with a briefcase handcuffed to his wrist. And you stayed anyway." Maya looked at him for a long moment. "You're a good man, Alessandro. Maybe you do bad things. I don't know, I don't want to know. But I know how you are with Matteo, how you are with Lily, how you are with me. That's what matters." He kissed her then, in his living room, with Matteo sleeping nearby and Lily at her father's house, and Rocco standing guard outside and his whole dangerous, complicated life waiting beyond the door. But in that moment, kissing Maya Torres, Alessandro Romano felt safe. 1 year after the flight, Alessandro proposed. In the airport, at the gate where they'd met, he'd rented the entire terminal for the day. Maya laughed until she cried. "This is insane." "Completely insane," he agreed. "I barely know you. You know me better than anyone. You're trouble. So are you." Maya looked at the ring, at Alessandro kneeling in front of her, at Matteo in his stroller clapping his pudgy hands, at Lily jumping up and down with excitement. She thought about that night on the plane, how tired she'd been, how frustrated, how she'd stood up and marched down the aisle and grabbed a stranger's baby just to make him stop crying. Best decision she'd ever made. "Yes," she said. Alessandro stood up and kissed her. Lily cheered. Matteo babbled happily. Rocco and Paulo tried to look professional but failed. And somewhere, probably laughing at all of them, the universe congratulated itself on putting a mafia boss and a pediatric nurse on the same flight. Some people meet at coffee shops, some meet at work, some meet on dating apps. Alessandro and Maya met because a baby wouldn't stop crying, and a tired woman finally had enough. And that made all the difference. Thank you for watching this unexpected love story. Would you march up to a dangerous stranger and take their baby if it meant changing your entire life? Drop a comment with where you're watching from and whether you'd be brave enough to do what Maya did. Subscribe for more stories that prove love finds you in the most impossible places.